This is a Hot Pie Original.
Okay, this is a risk of the talk show business. 3 hours from now, something may come up. We may learn more, and I end up in a place of saying, I was wrong, I get it now. I have a different take on this. But I'll go with what we have now. And I'll also understand that I will likely be criticized for being insensitive. But I think, to be honest, and I hope you agree, and this is what you want, I think a good talk show host has to be, one, intellectually honest, and two, be fearless. It just comes with the job. That's the way it's supposed to be. Hopefully that's the way it works usually. So here goes. Simone Biles quit the team portion of the Olympics yesterday. The gymnastics team portion yesterday, and I guess we get the coverage later in the day, so that was yesterday evening for most of us. This morning, she quit. Period. In case you've been under a rock, here is the NBC Sports story early this morning. Okay. One, she said she has the weight of the entire Olympics on her shoulders. Mostly true. Actually, she has the weight of NBC on her shoulders because they built the entire first half of the Olympics around her. So I'll go here. Maybe there is something terrible that happened. I don't know any more than what she's saying, and that is I'm not in the right mental space. In fact, last night she made the comment, or yesterday afternoon she made the comment, I'm just not in the right mental place or space. I wish her well. It's not okay to quit. It looks like she had a bad performance and lost her confidence. And instead, this is the way it looks, instead of risking flaming out and losing, she quit. That's the way it looks. Now, maybe you see something else, and I suspect that 98% of the public will see something else. The analysts certainly see something else and say that it's okay. It's not okay to say that it's okay to quit. That's what I don't get. People quit. People flame out. Many of us fail. Many of us just give up. I'm going to be critical of our reaction to quitting. Saying it's okay to quit is not okay. It's really not. So my criticism is our reaction, this bizarre reaction to this, which I think, and I'm going to make the argument, would be completely different if this were a different athlete in a different sport at a different time. So she quit, and instead, she, of course, has to live with that. But for the rest of us, how about not saying it's okay to quit? It's not. Being a pro at anything, by the way, everybody has stuff. Everybody has demons. Everybody deals with issues. Everybody deals with really tragic situations. You still have to be a pro. Being a pro means you battle demons. Stay focused. And yes, push through. And when did saying pushing through become a bad thing? All of a sudden, we're rewarding somebody. And again, whatever her issue is, good luck to you. You got to live with this. It's not about her. My criticism is not about her. My criticism is about what we're saying about quitting. When did pushing through become bad? I thought that is precisely what we tried to argue against. That is precisely what we tell ourselves. It's precisely what we tell our kids. Pushing through today is a bad thing. Isn't that the battle everybody every day has to deal with? We're now criticizing pushing through. That's what everyone does in their job, to be a pro. You don't quit in the middle of the meeting. If I was a coach or teammate, I'd be pissed. Get help. Nobody's arguing that. And I can see this coming. I can see it building up already. And I think the fact that we're talking about a 24-year-old woman makes the entire conversation different, which is bothersome as well. But I think what's going to happen is people are going to say, oh, how insensitive. What a jerk. Are you saying that somebody shouldn't get help? That's not at all what anyone is suggesting. I don't think. I'm not. Get help. But quitting in the middle is not okay. Fighting through competitive demons is exactly what big time athletics is about. It's about what everyday life is, correct? Think about this. If she fell off the wagon This happens to people of every stripe and every profession, whether it's sports or not. But if she fell off the wagon and physically and mentally couldn't work, in other words, she had an alcohol problem, she had an addiction problem, would the tone of this be the same? Would we be reacting the same way? If this was a 25-year-old Patrick Mahomes, the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, the face of the NFL, the new face of the NFL, a $150 million contract and the entire NFL franchise on his shoulders, and he didn't come out for the second half of the Super Bowl because he wasn't in the right mental space, with the tone and coverage and your reaction to that superstar athlete with a ton of pressure, a ton of publicity, a ton of money, would your reaction and your opinion be the same? Hey, every guy can relate to this. You're tired of wearing those baggy cotton shirts that feel like you're wearing curtains. There's a difference. In fact, I'm wearing the difference. That is the ultra premium basics from goodlifeclothing.com. You'll love the shirts. I've been searching for a long time, like every guy, for the perfect lightweight shirt that looks good if you're in pretty good shape. It's at goodlifeclothing.com. Check them out. You'll see the difference for yourself. You'll feel the difference for yourself. It's the perfect shirt for this time of year in Austin, Texas. So, two things. Go to goodlifeclothing.com. You get a 20% discount if you enter the promo code JeffWard20. That's goodlifeclothing.com. Enter the promo code JeffWard20 or stop by their store domain Northside. You'll love the difference. You'll feel the difference. It's the perfect fit for a guy that's in good shape. It's goodlifeclothing.com, promo code JeffWard20, or stop by their brand new store at Domain Northside. I'll answer, no way. No way. It wouldn't be the same. The mental side of what every athlete deals with, learning to put aside demons, perform, staying focused, being fearless, and risking failure, that is exactly what we should be promoting. Instead, today we're condemning it. She'll deal with it. Every athlete that fails. Plenty of us know what it's like to fail. She'll deal with that. I'm just talking about this bizarre reaction, this let's just hold hands and sing Kumbaya, what is precisely what we all reward ourselves for. What we're most proud of is the ability to stay focused and be a pro. Her teammates are being pros. I'm sure they have issues too. Nobody has pressure like she does, right? That's what comes with being the best. That's what comes with a commercial every 3 minutes. You take the money, you take the fame, and with it comes a lot, man. A lot. And if you quit, you quit. But think about how we're reacting to this. I'm going to be the jackass of the day. There probably should be a discussion. I don't deny this. There probably needs to be a discussion about overhyping a seemingly unstable 24-year-old female athlete and what athletes can handle. There's probably a discussion. There's probably a legitimate debate. There's probably a moment in which she said, you know what, I wish I wouldn't have taken it on. It was way too much for me. I wish my agent had gone there, but I went there. There's a discussion there. I'm sure that's all true. There is a reasonable discussion about how best to handle the pressure. There's probably a reasonable debate that needs to happen at some point about the sport of gymnastics and what it does to young women. If this is burnout, then you're just seeing it play out. Then that's another discussion and a legitimate criticism of that entire industry, which seems a little icky to me anyway. But our reaction, this analyst saying quitting is the right thing to do. What? What if you're her teammate? What if you're her coach? What if you had a bad day? What if something tragic happened? Your job is your job. I mean, those are the issues. Pushing through today is criticized. It is condemned. It's the very thing most of us like best when we've made it in our career. Your career doesn't define you, but it's what you do when you're a pro. Work. I wouldn't pretend to use myself as an example. I know that plenty of talk show hosts that have never played 1 minute of any competitive sport would love to talk about things. But look, I've been in what most people would view as pressure situations. Again, most people define pressure on the outside. Everything is about you on the inside. Everything is about you on that sideline. Everything is about you and your teammates. You learn to say, I don't give a flip about anybody else. I don't care what they think my pressure situation is. I'm doing this because this is us. This is what we work for. I'm letting it go. I'm taking the risk. So I've been in what most people would say are pressure situations and failed plenty of times. And I don't want to sound like Vince Lombardi here, except I feel like I sound like Vince Lombardi. And I've never been on an Olympic stage. But the message you want to send to each other, to your teammates, the message you want to send to yourself is push through. That is exactly why you compete. It's a great book. I've referenced it many times. The Inner Game of Tennis. It is written by a psychiatrist that talks about performing at the peak level, the ability to put aside everything else and be fearless and risk everything and get into the game. Until this morning, that was exactly what we loved about competing. And I'm sorry she melted down. I'm sorry that there's an issue there. It's not about her. It's about our reaction to quitting. The remainder, you can start, by the way. You can start hating on me. I get it. Here it comes. It's coming my way. You suck. You're insensitive. I get it. I'm critical of our reaction to quitting. The remainder of the Olympics coverage will be about her and her me time issues. She's the star. She wants to be the star. I don't know how that's going to play out. I suspect she's going to be a star regardless, and it's going to be about kumbaya. It's going to be 24/7 Oprah Winfrey show all over again. That's what this thing is going to feel like. Just in this moment, just in this time, anybody who gets up and goes to work, anybody who battles through to go to work, anybody who tries to succeed, we can't sit around and look at each other and say, you know what, I'm sorry, it's okay to quit. No way. No one in your office would promote that. Think about the differences. Think about somebody, there's 2 seconds left in the game. The entire stadium is silent. Out of 70 people on a sideline, not one person will go next to that guy. It is completely silent. There's 2 seconds left, and a lot of money is riding on it, and a lot of people are watching. Imagine that NFL player says, I'm not going out there. Would the post-game reaction be, well, it's just some me time for him? You think that'd be the reaction? You think that'd be the reaction of teammates and coaches and people that have put everything into it? Just think about the reaction, not her, whatever issue she has and what she's going to go deal with and not deal with. Think of our reaction today and the message it's sending.
From the Hot Pie Media Studios in Austin, Texas, it's the Jeff Ward Show. Listen at jeffwardshow.com.